This video contains basic exercises when laying the foundation for training your dog. This first skill is called watch, and you start this by putting a treat under your chin and telling the dog to watch. After the dog has watched for 1 to 3 seconds, you simply give the dog the treat. Jolly, watch. Jolly, watch. Good girl. This next skill is very simple. It's called sit. You tell the dog to sit, and after the dog has sat for 1 to 2 seconds, you give them the treat and then release them from the position. Jolly, sit. Good girl. This next skill is called lie down, and you first start this by getting the dog in a sitting position. After the dog is in a sitting position, you get a treat, put the treat to the dog's face, and then slowly move the treat towards the ground, signaling that the dog needs to lie down. Sit. Good girl. Lie down. Lie down. Jolly, lie down. Good girl. This next skill is called wait, and you start this by putting your hand on the doorknob and telling the dog to wait. After you open the door, the dog will wait for 1 to 3 seconds. After the dog has waited, you let them go outside. Wait. Good girl. Come here. Come on. Next skill is a lot like sit, except it adds a new element to it. It's called sit-stay. And you start this by having the dog on your left, and then telling the dog to sit. Once the dog is sitting, you move in front of it and tell it to stay for 5 seconds. After the dog has been staying for 5 seconds, you move to the right side and tell it to stay for 5 more seconds. After the dog has accomplished this, you give it a treat. Sit. Stay. Stay. Good girl. This next skill is a lot like lie down, but it also adds a new element to it. It's called lie down stay. You first do the exact same thing you would as if you're trying to get the dog to lie down. After the dog has lay for 1 to 3 seconds, you tell it to stay. After the dog has stayed for 5 seconds, you come back and give the dog a treat. Jolly, sit. Lie down. Lie down. Stay. Good girl. This next skill is called come when called. You have the dog about 5 feet away from you, and you tell the dog to come. Once the dog has come and it's standing right in front of you, you tell the dog to sit. After the dog is sitting, you give them the treat. Come. Sit. Good girl. This final skill is called control walking. When doing this, you need to make sure you have a loose grip on the leash. You start by simply telling the dog to heel and then walking for just a couple minutes. Come.